Hey everybody, my name is Deja and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to my 2021 reading and channel goals, as well as going over my reading and channel goals for 2022. So I honestly don't know how many of my reading goals I completed, and I have not watched the video since I posted it, so I really don't know what I've completed, what I haven't completed. Before we get into the rest of today's video, I also want to thank this video's sponsor, which is Analuisany. This is my second time partnering with Analuisany, and I absolutely love their jewelry. I love gold jewelry, which is what they really specialize in, and I just absolutely love how minimal everything is, but it still has like that little bit of flavor. It's still giving, you know. Specifically, I'm wearing two necklaces that they sent me today. I received 3 necklaces, which I will show you guys, but I'm wearing 2 today. The first one that I got is kind of like a paperclip type chain that's linked together, and I really wanted this one because it's really nice for layering, which is like something I'm trying to get into. I feel like all the quirky girls, you know, they layer their necklaces, and I want to be a quirky girl too, so I really want to layer my necklaces. And then I got this little silhouette of a woman, and I absolutely love this necklace. I have a candle that looks just like this, and I'm obsessed with this kind of like, I don't know if it's like art or what, but like anytime there's like a silhouette of women's bodies, I just love it. And the last necklace that I received was a little safety pin that has like little jewels in it, and it's so beautiful. I'm also wearing a pair of the earrings that they sent me last time, and I wear these literally every single day. And one of the things that I absolutely love about their jewelry is like you really don't have to worry about it. You just put it on and you don't think about it. I have really hard time remembering things, and so I will forget to take off my jewelry all the time, but I don't really have to worry about like wearing this in the shower or anything like that. Their jewelry is amazing for that. And Analuisany is also sustainable. They are carbon neutral, and they also recycle old jewelry to make their new jewelry, which is amazing. I love how sustainable they are. Their style is just amazing, and the prices are phenomenal. As a broke college student speaking to you, I understand the struggle. Jewelry is so beautiful, and I think like I love when I see people decked out in jewelry, but like jewelry is so expensive, but you don't want to get really cheap pieces that again you like can't wear in the shower, that you have to be so careful when wearing. But Analuisany is like the perfect mixture of that. Their jewelry is extremely affordable, but it's really high quality, and you also know that you are being really sustainable in your purchase. They're currently running their biggest sale of the year, and they are having 10% off items, with last chance items up to 60% off. So if you would like to buy any of the pieces from Analuisany, I will have my link down in the description box below. Make sure to check out their jewelry because again, it's amazing and I absolutely love it, and I wear it literally every single day. Thank you again so much, Analuisany, for sponsoring today's video. And now we are going to react to my video from last year. So I'm just going to pull it up, and obviously I'm going to be having to look down a lot because yeah, and I don't know how this is even gonna work because I've never done this before. I'm gonna have to put myself whatever. So because I'm going over a lot in this video, I'm just going to skip past the intro. So the first thing that I have is to read 75 books in 2021, which I feel like is reasonable. So I just go on to talk about how I didn't know if I was going to be able to read as much as I read in 2020, so I wanted to kind of put a safer number that still was challenging, and I did read 75 books. As of today, I've read 102, and I'm almost done with my 103rd book of the year. I've definitely surpassed 75 books, and I don't think I'm going to read as much as I read last year, which was 111. I may get there, but I don't know. I doubt that I'm going to, but I've definitely surpassed 75 books, and I have even passed 100 books. I think my second goal is also going to help with this a lot more, and it's that I want to read more romances and thrillers. I feel like I did pretty good with reading romances this year, but I just want to diversify the romance that I'm reading. So I have definitely read more romances and thrillers this year. I've read mostly romance, and I've read a good bit of thrillers. I believe that like 75 to 80% of my reading falls into either a subgenre of romance or like thriller or mystery. So I've done a really good job at reading the 2 genres that I set out to read this year. But also, can we address, I feel like obviously this is me, and so I look the same, but I feel like I also look really different. Like, I feel like I look really different than this video. Maybe it's just my hair. I feel like it is my hair. It's like a different color. It's more defined. It's longer. I don't know, but I feel like my face also looks different. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but I feel like I look different.
Bitch disgusting.
That was nasty. That was nasty. And I really just want to focus on reading more thrillers. The next one is to read more authors just in general, like, and not just read one book from an author. Like, I want to read at least like 2 or 3 books from some new authors this year. Okay, I feel like I have done this, but not as well as I wanted to. There are definitely authors that I have on my radar that I've been wanting to explore. Like, for example, Karen Slaughter. I read Pretty Girls earlier this year, and I absolutely adored it. You can see I have The Good Daughter back here, but I have not read a single one of her other books this year. And I literally read that was my second book that I read of the year, and it's still in my head. I still think about it all the time, but I have not read another Karen Slaughter. What is wrong with me? I've started one of her other books, but I haven't continued in it. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, that's what I'm saying. I definitely have done this a bit. I'm thinking of Riltzy Adams. Riltzy, I'm pretty sure only writes short stories, but I've read a couple of her short stories, and I love her books so much. And there are definitely other authors that I've explored a bit more this year, like Rena Kent. I read 2 Colleen Hoover this year as well, which is the first time I read a Colleen Hoover, and I was gonna do a video about it, but I started this video all the way back in July, and so like it's just been too messy for me to post anything. So I'm just gonna, maybe I'll vlog It Ends With Us, because that was like, I was reading Ugly Love, Verity, and It Ends With Us for it. So if you want to see me vlog It Ends With Us as like a singular reading vlog, let me know, because I will do that. That's why I want to start my new series like all of them. So I want to read at least like 2 for one video, and I read like 3 to start my new series like Author Tribe, where I read books from specific authors. So this was an example of what I was talking about. Colleen Hoover I was going to do for an Author Tribe video, but I decided not to do that. I had 2 others in the works as well throughout this year that I just never did. Number 4 also relates to authors, and it's that I want to read more backlists of my favorite authors. This one specifically aimed at Jennifer L. Armentrout because she has so many books, and I've read like I think 2 or 3 of the books in the Luxe series. I read the first book in the White Hot Kiss series, and then I read the first 2 in the Blood and Ash series, which is what's out so far, but she has so many other books. So I did not do this. Wow, we love to see that. I did not read Jennifer L. Armentrout this year, really, except for Crown of Gilded Bones. It was the only one that I read. I do really want to do this. I think the only author that I probably did this with was Julianne Lindsay. So I just really need to do this. Like, I have some authors that I just really need to get into, for real. Like, for example, Karen Slaughter. Technically, this is going to be like a not a new to me author now, because I read her book almost a year ago, and I just need to get into it. And Jennifer Hillier I want to read more of. There's just some authors that I really want to get more into in the next year. Number 5 is to actually read the arcs that I request. This is an issue that I have.
So we need to get on that, okay?
I feel like it's just because I request things that sound interesting, but then I'm like, I have all these physical books that. Okay, so I did not do this that well. I still have a ton of 2021 arcs that I need to get to. I think I have like 13 or 14. I think it's 13. And I really despise that is a thing. I've actually reviewed a lot of them. So me and arcs, I've started requesting arcs already for next year, which is unfortunate, but I really do not want to, like, I better not have a single 2021 arc carry over into 2023. We're getting them out in 2022, okay? We need to stop carrying over these arcs, and I will talk about that more in my goals, but I did not complete this. That's all I have to say. Number 6 is to finish some series. I just have some series that either not necessarily finish, but I also need to continue in them, like the Ember and the Ashes series I want to finish, but that one's kind of guaranteed just because of the Ember along. So yeah, I did finish, I think, 2 series this year only, which is very sad. I've finished the An Ember and the Ashes series, and I finished the Illuminae Files series, but I do need to do this again. I think that happened especially because when I filmed this, a lot of the series that I had to finish were fantasy, and I have not really read any fantasy this year. I think I've read 2 or 3 like straight fantasy, but I'm getting back into a fantasy mood after not actively reading it for like a year and a half. So I'm really hoping I can finish some series in this upcoming year, because this is getting ridiculous, especially because I've started a lot of romance series now, so now I need to continue on in those too, so that's great. It's one that I really want to work on just because I feel like it's something that I need to do, and that is I want to read more POC authors. Obviously, I feel like that's something that everybody needs to work on. So I did not complete this because I said around 40%. I think about 25 or 30% of my reading has been by POC authors this year. And I do need to do better with this for sure. I definitely want to. But even with like thrillers and horror specifically, there's not many POC authors in there. This next one is that I want to stay away from contemporary specifically. I realize that contemporary is not my genre. I just don't really like it, and I'm really tired of like the YA contemporary books that talk about issues but are kind of lighthearted, like Felix Ever After. Okay, so I did complete this. I would definitely say I did not really read many contemporaries or coming of age stories this year, and if I did, there were ones that I'm really excited for. Like, I know I'm really excited for Honey and Issue's Guide to Not Dating because that author also wrote The Henna Wars, so I do need to get to that. But I didn't really read many like YA contemporary / coming of age stories this year, which is good because I'm not a fan. My next one is a reading challenge, and that is the Buzzword Challenge hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. So she used to do the Buzzword read along, and so she's kind of made it where there's a buzzword or a buzz theme kind of. So I said that I wanted to do 8 months out of the 12, and I've done 7 currently, and it's December. So if I just complete the December one, then I will complete this goal. So we're just gonna say I completed it. Even if I only do 7, it's pretty close to the 8. So we're just gonna go ahead and count it, okay? We're just gonna count it. So these next couple ones are going to be less about reading and more about my channel. But so the first one is I just want to write at least 1 sentence for every single book that I read. I definitely did this year. I completed it. I'm really proud of myself for completing this. I definitely wrote, I would not even just say a sentence. Some books I was just like, this was so good. I don't even know how to articulate what I'm trying to say. Oh my god. 5 out of 5 stars. But I feel like that is something. Like, I just wanted to write something because when I see other people's reviews and I just see their star rating, I'm like, oh yeah, like I love that, but it doesn't really give me how they felt. And so I definitely completed this, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm not making it a goal for 2022, but because I've gotten in the habit of it, I should be able to do this as well in 2022. This kind of also goes along with it, and it's just organizing my reading and my tracking a bit better because I'm going to be using 3 different things to track my reading this year. I did not keep up with this. I fell off of it. I'm very behind on Storygraph. Failed with keeping up with rating every single book that I read on Instagram as well. I was trying to do that. I didn't talk about that in this video, but I was trying to do that at the beginning of the year, and I fell off with that when I fell off with Storygraph, which was like August or September of this year. But I don't really want to spam, and I will try and update my Storygraphs for next year, but it's just hard to keep up with all of them, and I feel like way more people are on Goodreads, and I love supporting Storygraph so much, but I don't really need like the graphs or anything because I have them on my reading spreadsheet because that's my baby. Goodreads and the reading spreadsheet are my main 2, and I kept up with both those, but I fell off with Storygraph and Instagram. My next goal is to try and upload at least 4 times a month.
I'm a clown.
Yeah, so past Deja and current Deja both know that this wasn't gonna happen. Well, current Deja knows that it didn't happen. I did not post 4 times a month. I took a 4 to 5 month break, so I would not say I completed this. So this next one is going to be one that is going to be a struggle for me, and that is I want to attempt wrap-ups every month. Whether I find that I want to do recent reads, if I want to do mid-month wrap-ups, and then so I did not do this. Again, I didn't post for 4 or 5 months, so I definitely did not do this. And even in the months that I were posting, I don't think I did wrap-ups. I do want to be better about this because I feel like there's a lot of books that I read that you guys never know that I read unless you follow me on Goodreads. So yeah, it's kind of tragic, to be honest. There's a lot of books that I love that you guys don't know that I love because I just don't talk about them. So I need to be better about letting you guys know what I'm reading. So the next one is, as I said, to do more reading vlogs, and I just want to improve them in general. I feel like they're just not as aesthetic as I want them to be, and I know. So I need to do this again because I did not complete this. I do want to do more vlogs for sure, but I suck at them, and again, they're like not aesthetic or pretty, and I know some people don't do like b-roll or aesthetics, and that's fine, but I don't know if I'm quirky enough to not do that. So like I need to figure out like how I want to do vlogs. I just didn't really figure that out this year, but that's something that I want to figure out in 2022 is like how I do my vlogs. I honestly just don't know how to do vlogs, to be honest. And this last one is I want to do more book recommendations. I feel like especially this last year I felt kind of invalidated in doing book recommendations. This is still true. I did not do many book recommendation videos this year. Well, one, I wasn't filming, and two, I still feel like I have not read enough to be able to give recommendations, like specified recommendations, like how I want to. So I just haven't really done recommendations this year, which is really sad, but hopefully maybe I'll be able to do some. I have actually already filmed one recommendation video, so that should be going up soon-ish. I do really kind of want to do like specific niche recommendations, and I can't really do that yet, but I'm hoping to be able to get to that place soon. Okay, so now we're gonna get into my 2022 reading goals, and these ones are like the ones that are like my actual set reading goals. So the first one, I originally had this as read 100 books, and I do want to read 100 books because I've read over 100 books last year and this year, but I think I'm actually just gonna set it at 75 again because I feel like 100 is pushing it. Like I made 100 this year, but like barely, but again, I don't know what next year is gonna be like. So I want to put pressure but not too much, and I feel like 100 would freak me out, so I'm gonna say 75, but like my secondary goal is definitely 100, but 75 minimum. Then this one has to do with NetGalley as well, and this is to catch up on NetGalley arcs. I really don't want to have 2021 arcs still in 2023, so I'm going to try and get rid of all of those this year, and then if I'm carrying over any from 2022, I would only like it to be 5. 5 arcs from 2022 are allowed to carry over with me into 2023, and if I have more than 5, then I have to go through and be like, I'm not reviewing these, and then no 2021 arcs are allowed. If I haven't read them by the end of 2022, I'm definitely just gonna be like, I'm not reviewing this, because by that point the book probably came out like over a year ago, so no. Then this one is kind of like mood read more, which is like weird sounding, but I mean, like, I have been getting into moods for months long where I'll be really in a thriller mood, or really in a romance mood, or really in a fantasy mood, and I kind of want to go along with that. Not that I can't read other books, but when I'm really like in the mood for something, like I just want to be able to read it, and I never allow myself to, because I always set like a readathon or something like that. But like right now I kind of really want to read fantasy, and that never happened, so I'm gonna try and read some fantasy soon. But I just never really allow myself to read the genre that I'm like really feeling at the moment, and I really just want to let myself be able to do that more. So then the next goal is to find out what I like in each genre. This is specifically fantasy. I have not read fantasy in almost a year and a half, so I don't even know what I like. Like, I know what I like in romance. I know what I like. And in thrillers, I'm starting to figure it out. So I would really like to figure out what I like with like fantasy and thrillers and horror specifically. I kind of know what I like in thrillers, but in fantasy, again, I don't really know what I like. So I want to be able to like concretely say like, this is what I like in these genres, because I feel like, for example, like Kayla from Books and Lala is really, really good at analyzing what she likes in certain genres, and I really want to be able to do that as well. This next one is carrying over directly from my last year's reading goals, and that is to finish some series / catch up on series. It doesn't have to be series that are already finished, but I just want to be like caught up or finished with series. I'm really, really bad with this, but this is something that I'm really going to try and prioritize next year, because it's honestly ridiculous. This next one is to read authors' backlists, and again, I read a whole bunch of new authors this year, and I have a whole bunch of authors that I really love that I barely even read this year, and I just really, really want to read more of their books, read more of their backlists, and that way I have a better grasp on, is the author a favorite of mine, can I recommend this author as a general, and I just want to know if like I only love one book, or like I love the whole author, you know. That's what I really want to know. So I want to read more of author backlists. I don't really know how I'm going to track this last one, but it's that I want to be more conscious when reading. And I mean this in the sense that, like, especially if I'm listening to audiobooks, but also even when I'm just physically reading, I tend to like distract myself a lot. And even if a book is a favorite, sometimes I don't remember it as well as I want to, because I wasn't giving it my full attention because I have ADHD. And I just want to make sure that I'm being more conscious when reading, and that I'm not just like speeding through books and like forgetting every single detail about them. Like, I want to be able to remember them a little bit more than I was able to this year. So it's Editing Deja here. I just wanted to pop in this quick clip that I'm filming on my phone at my sister's house, but I just wanted to say I'm adding a couple TBR challenges for myself. One of them is that I want to read at least one book of the month pick every single month. I don't necessarily get a book of the month pick every single month, but I have a ton of book of the month books I haven't read, so I want to read one book of the month book every single month. And then also I will be posting later a 5-star predictions video, and I want to, at the end of the year, react to my 5-star predictions. So I want to try and read at least one of those 5-star predictions every single month. I may add in some other TBR challenges later on, but I will talk about those later. Then these next goals are channel goals, but also bookish community goals. And the first one is to be more consistent in posting. I don't want to give myself a goal like post 4 times a month. I just like don't want to disappear for like months at a time without posting. I don't really like doing that, and it's like it's just not good for like my channel as a whole. Like just from like a back end statistics wise, it's not good, but I also just don't like doing it. So I really want to try to just be more consistent in my posting, because it's all over the place. It's really messy. I'll post a lot, then not post at all, and it's just all over the place. This next one is to actually follow through with content. This one specifically applies to like reading vlogs and the like author try series that I was going to do. I started 3 different author try videos, did not follow through with any of them. And so I just really want to follow through with content. Like if I start it, I want to finish it. And like if I start a vlog, I want to finish it and like be more consistent with it, because there are vlogs that I'll start and then I won't update for days and it'll just get really messy, and I don't want to do that. I want my content to be good, and I feel like the way for me to do that is to not be lazy and actually update vlogs. And then this last one is to find my bookstagram aesthetic. This one is really random, but I don't really like how my bookstagram currently looks. I'm going to try and change the aesthetic a little bit, but I want to find an aesthetic that I like, because I feel like there are people's Instagrams and you just look at them. For example, Marcy from Marcy Reads. You look at it and you're like, wow, Marcy. Or like Ashleigh from Frolic Through Fiction. They both have incredibly beautiful aesthetic Instagrams. Even Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages, she just recently changed her aesthetic and it looks stunning, even before it looks stunning. And I just want to be able to have like an aesthetic that I really like. Okay, this is a bonus goal that I don't think that I'm going to complete, but I'm just going to put it out there, and it's that I want to start making book talk videos. I don't know how I'm going to go about that, but I kind of want to start. I just don't know how to necessarily, and I don't know what kind of content to make, and I know you have to make a lot of content for book talk, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I want to try. If I don't complete it, I'm not going to be mad at myself, but I want to try at least. But that's all that I have for this video today. Make sure to check out analuisany down below. They are currently having their biggest sale of the year with 10% off and 60% off last chance items. So make sure to click the link in my description box to check them out. But that's all that I have for this video today, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye everybody.
Trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in. Yeah, you got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG.